Good whenever.
You live? Yo. Welcome back to the show. Episode, what, 3, 4? What we looking like, B?
Three.
Okay. Well, today is going to be a special show, man. We've got some all-stars on the squad today. It's an action-packed show today. We're going to start with my guy, the Captain America, Frankie Solomon. Everybody clap. Let me hear clap. Okay. Team USA, all-star, safety. He said he's quarterback 4 as well. So we hopefully we get a chance to see that. Also, we got the man, the myth, the legend himself, the one and only Mr. Barbecue Chicken. Barbecue Chicken, Mr. Corey Webb.
You got a football.
I don't
get the celebration.
I don't know what you call this guy. I don't know if he's quarterback, center, safety, cornerback, rusher.
He do it all.
He's just athlete. We just gonna call him an athlete. This guy, he's a dog. Whatever you put him at. Also, we've got my guy CT. He just flew in from, where did you fly in from? Indianapolis. Yep. Yeah, he just flew in today. CT is with USA Football. And hey, man, it's a pleasure having you on today.
Absolutely, bro.
Yeah, most definitely. And also, we got my guy, Mr. Nate of, was that Lights Out? Was it? Yeah, Mr. Lights Out. Mr. Texas.
I don't know. He need a smile, man. He looked too serious for me.
Mr. Lights Out, Texas Fury. What's the other one? Hall of Fame.
Do what I can.
Do what you can.
A little bit of everything.
Yeah, let's start the show a little bit about talking about you guys, Mr. Captain America. Talk to me a little bit about yourself and how you got involved in this flag football thing you do.
Oh man, fresh out of college, needed something to do. Started playing flag to stay in shape, trying to get to the league. Unfortunately, my speed didn't match my height for the league, so I didn't get quite to the league. But I ended up playing arena football. So I would ping pong back and forth from arena football to flag, and flag is what helped me get my game in arena a lot better as far as covering wise, because we couldn't have any contact, and of course in arena it's a lot of contact. So I just use it as my practice, but also use it as another tool for putting better things in my arsenal when I got to tackle football. So ultimately it was just something to stay in shape and play football, the game I love.
Was it something you were doing at like the same time type deal?
Definitely.
Okay,
so
okay.
I came in playing 9-man, which 9-man is closer to the actual tackle style.
Mm-hmm.
So in 9-man, I actually play linebacker because the physicality aspect, and I just used that. I would go down and rush on the line, but I also would go out and cover. So it really helped me be one of the better premier defenders in arena football.
Nah, because you are one of the better premier defenders in flag football for sure, man. I've seen some of your highlights, dog. You really got it. You got something that a lot of people don't got at your age.
But does that come from playing college ball though?
I think college really did help me and excel, but as far as football has always been second nature, in my opinion. The very first time I ever played football, I think I was like 4 or 5 years old. We was in the neighborhood playing throwback tackle. My older brother handed me a ball and said, run, outran everybody, and then got on defense. We were playing against one of his best friends at the time, was one of the best running backs in the area in the 5th grade. And the story goes, I basically went head up with him, got ran through, and just held on for dear life for like 15, 20 yards. Wow. And it was at that moment my older brother knew. He was like, yeah, you're going to play football, bro.
That's dope, man. That's dope. And Mr. Webb, talk to me about your experiences and how you got to this level of flag football.
Well, the level of flag that I've been playing on was I was 16 years old when I was in high school and watching Frankie and my brother obviously playing football. And obviously I'm the little brother to them. I always go treat me like the little brother.
The baby.
In other words, they used to call me Baby Webb, then Little Webb, and then, as I kept playing, my name speaks for myself, Barbecue Chicken. But to answer your question.
But hold up. Barbecue Chicken. Where'd this name come from? Talk to me about Barbecue Chicken. Barbecue Chicken. That's like a real Southern slang there. I thought I had a Southern slang. Barbecue Chicken.
Nah, I tell people all the time, man, I was watching Inside the NBA, TNT, and Shaquille O'Neal was saying barbecue chicken one time. And I was like, barbecue chicken? They don't. What does barbecue chicken mean? Obviously, like everybody keep asking me what's barbecue chicken means, and then keep watching the show, and he was like, back in the day, I was back, I just went, but back in the day when he was in the paint, nobody couldn't guard him, so I was like, oh, okay, barbecue chicken. Let me just let me put that in my name, my little nickname and everything. And so I just started branding myself barbecue chicken, and
kind of took off, man. I noticed this barbecue chicken. You got the whole clothing line going on, man. Ain't nobody in flag football got what you got when it comes to the clothing line.
Time out. Tell them the name you tried to become first.
We gotta talk about that.
I'm gonna leave it alone.
I want to hear about it. What's the name?
That's my other alias.
But yeah, man, talk to the people. I know you know, like I said, you got your clothing line, man. It's one of those things that kind of really took it off for you. I know I see a lot of people at all different types of terms. I'm starting to see the kids wearing it too. Talk to me a little bit about it.
I do anything for the kids. They know that, man. I love the kids. Obviously, shout out to my son CJ. Today his birthday too, so
Happy birthday.
Gotta show him love. But anything I can do to help the flag world, or even anything that I can do to help provide with the kids, I'll do it. I even talk to y'all. Come up there and show, do drills, or even just show up and just give out stuff and stuff like that to for them to recognize me. Wristbands, masks, gloves, just to know like, oh, barbecue chicken. So once they see it, man, I just want to be like barbecue chicken. So that's what I try to do as much as I can for the kids.
Gotcha. And then as far as like flag goes, like I know you said you kind of watched Frankie kind of growing up and your brothers kind of growing up. Like, how did you become so dominant at flag? Because, man, dude, like every time I watch you, like even playing with you, it's like your mindset and your ability on the field is like at a whole nother level. Like, it's crazy. Like, how did you get this good, I guess you could say?
Can I answer it for you?
Let Cap answer that.
Go ahead.
He left his brothers.
He left his brother.
So we was all on the same team, but Corey didn't want to be in nobody's shadow.
Yeah.
So ain't nothing wrong with it. He just wanted to make his own way.
Right.
Which we like to say we paved the way for him, but him actually going out, like he went to our rival team, beat us. He went out when we was going out of town playing 9-man. He would go to a different team every time. So I just think he really helped himself grow up fast by branching away from us, because it was more so like, hey, this is something I got to do for myself. Not necessarily, I don't want to be in y'all shadows. Hey, y'all good, I'm good, but I want people to know me for me. So I think that the best way I can put it, just from watching from a proud big brother standpoint, was it was something he needed to do on his own.
Yeah, I guess where do you find, like, Corey, again, like that the motivation you get? Because, like, on the field, just playing with you is like, when you on the field, like, you just like so locked in, like it's hard to really deter you, and like your level of, I guess you can say, smartness of the game is like IQ. On a whole nother. Yes, IQ is just like crazy. Where do you find that from? I know it's kind of a multifaceted
that's actually a good
question.
Playing with different people,
Mm-hmm.
People play different formations and stuff like that. So even in bunch, playing with Frankie, playing with Manning, playing with Hyman. Playing with Brandell and 4-on-4 so much or whatever, just trying to adjust to how I play to help other people on my team play to make it easier for them. So I just, obviously depending on the quarterback, how they play, what they like to do in certain situations, just try to help people put themselves in the right situation.
Cool.
So what's your favorite highlight that you've created, that you've posted on social media?
Mexico.
Tell us about it.
One-handed catch?
Tell us about it.
Easy.
Yeah. I want to say that might be the best one.
Yeah, we brought the last
might have
time
seen too.
We talked about it, I think.
Only reason I say that because it was 4th down and it was like a game winner, one hand.
So how did the crowd react?
So that was like, oh, Pablo, let it go.
Hold on. Yeah, hey, I need you to paint the whole picture. I don't know if I see the actual story, man. I've seen so many different clips. It's hard for me to decipher which one you're talking about.
There's like 100 people surrounding the whole.
It was kind of like being in the USA type of game. It was just having a whole lot of people watching the game. The champion. It was a semifinals game actually, And, you know, last play of the game, I scored like 3 touchdowns, actually. I was 3 for 3, you know.
Hat trick.
Randy Moss style.
Randy Moss.
Easy.
You know, Dallas Cowboys. You
Easy.
should have drafted me. You should have drafted me. But, yeah, you know, he just threw it up to the end zone, and I didn't expect nobody to go get the ball but me. You know, I can jump too, you know, but I just luckily, you know, just caught it with one hand, and, you know, I caught it one hand, and I looked up, looked to the right, and I didn't know how to react. You know what I'm saying? It was like a game winner, so I just looked to the crowd. They was all cheering, barbecue chicken, barbecue chicken. So I just dapped up the first, you know, people that I seen, you know, with the glasses still on, you know. And that was something like Blade, you know.
Boom, there it is right here.
If we got it right here.
Yeah, that's it right there.
But yeah, it was I don't have it queued up, but there it is.
Oh wow. Oh.
Okay.
The dude said he didn't catch it. He was like, no catch, no catch.
Oh yeah.
You could have went to IG. It's probably like a little better one.
I know, right? I know, right? Well, I knew I had that one really close because I made the highlight reel. Daryl Cummings film, make a highlight reel. I'm just saying.
So what about you, Frankie? What's been your favorite, not highlight, but what's been your favorite flag football moment in your career so far?
Man, it's probably when we won Roswell. Roswell, that was a surreal experience because it was with my bros. Like everybody was on the team, like was somebody we came up together with in 4-man. And you know, growing up or in flag, you hear 4-man is Florida based, and for us to go out there to Roswell and be able to beat a Florida team in the championship, that was really great for me. And it was actually my team, the Looney Tunes. So
Twice too, to be exact.
yeah. So being the GM of the team made it that much more sweet. But winning with the guys that we started the 4-man team with, and really grew together with, I think that moment in Roswell was one of the greatest moments that I've experienced. And then as far as a highlight, I would pick the highlight from that game was I intercepted a post corner, and we end up, me and his brother, my best friend, TJ, we end up taking it all the way back the whole field. I end up getting midfield and pitching it to TJ, and TJ ran it the rest of the way. So that's one of my best highlights. I don't have the actual highlight, but there is a newspaper with me basically finna pitch it to TJ. So I think that's one of my most memorable moments for flag.
Okay. Yeah. And I know we have another football player in here. CT, tell him about your football history and what you do with USA Football.
Yeah, of course. So, man, grew up in the Midwest, Brownsburg, Indiana. Went to Purdue, played football at Purdue University.
Big Ten.
Big Ten. Yeah, Big Ten.
What's y'all, Boilermakers? What's y'all
Boilermakers, yeah, man. Boiler up forever. And then after that, so I signed with the Canadian team in Ottawa, the Ottawa Red Blacks. Got released, played arena football. And that's something I wanted to ask you about, Frank. So with arena, right, the dimensions of the field is a lot tighter. And obviously with fives, it's similar. It's almost the exact same size field. So that transition for you.
Very easy.
Right.
Very easy.
Right.
So I tell people on that, you got IFL and you got arena football. Yep. It's technically two different styles of indoor, like 4 and 5-man, two different styles of small ball. So Arena 1 is more 4-man style, where it's basically 4 on 4. Where IFL indoor football is technically 5 on 5. So it helped transition my game just that much more easier because I was used to doing it not only in the flag world, but I was waking up at 6 a.m. going to practice 4 times a week and then playing a game on Saturday. So it was just like, man, I was eat and breathing small ball.
And that's the thing too. Like with arena and with indoor, it allows you to understand those tight windows, right? And the game is so much faster. It's really an offensive design game,
especially with the high motions and everything.
Right. So as a defender in that league, you really got to be him. You know what I mean? In order to be successful, because those games are designed to score a lot of points. So, anyways, played arena. I was actually out in Boston playing for the team called the Boston Pirates, and then my girlfriend at the time, now wife, hit me up and was like, when you come home after the season, yada, yada. So, boom, come back home. USA Football is actually headquartered in Indianapolis. So, I literally shot a resume over there, super blind. And the rest is history. I've been with them for 6 years now, been with the program for 5. So, yeah, man, no, it's been quite a journey. It's been different being on this side But I mean, I've been enjoying it. It's been great.
I also want to say one thing. I wasn't him in arena football. I was the franchise.
Yeah, okay.
The franchise.
So you better ask about me.
So CT, talk to me a little bit about what it is that you actually do with USA Football.
Great question. A little bit of everything, to be honest with you, man. So, I mean, within this past week, I packed all of our athletes' packages, which y'all are about to be getting here soon. Their welcome packages to the team, the athletes that got selected, the 18 for our men and our women, and then all of our junior teams as well. But primarily, man, I'm going around and I'm scouting. I'm evaluating athletes. I'm evaluating coaches. And then just making sure that our players have everything that they need, make sure our coaches have everything that they need. And again, man, the thing about my position that I enjoy the most is that it continues to evolve year after year. It's a little bit different, but always just trying to be the glue guy. People continually tell me I'm the glue guy. So if there's anything that the team needs or that we need to do within the program, someone that's extremely familiar with the game, obviously, you know what I mean? So I'm always there for them.
I was going to piggyback on that. The glue guy, that is an understatement because he helps mend the business world to the football world, in my opinion.
Yeah.
He can understand, those guys in the higher ups, and he can understand the guys that are playing. So I think that's a huge asset that he brings to USA Football from the standpoint of being able to mend both sides from a business standpoint to an athletic standpoint.
Gotcha.
My God, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah. Now you had mentioned like scouting. Talk to me about like where are you scouting at? Like what does that look like?
So now, going into this year, it's a little bit different, right? So we have our sanctioned events only. And before this year, it was
meaning you're like having your own like tournaments. Is that what you mean?
Correct.
Okay.
So for example, the reason that we're even here in Dallas this weekend is because it's our first adult sanctioned event. We have 16 teams that we're going to be playing tomorrow. But before that, it was Wild Wild West. We're hitting up every different type of tournament, every different type of style that there was. We were looking at 7s, 9s, 8s, 4s, obviously 5s as well. Just trying to pull bodies and see where it all took us. So that was kind of a bit of a learning curve initially. Was trying to decide the best places to scout, the best places that we're going to find the best talent. So I mean, man, like I said, it's a journey. It's been a journey up to this point, but we've gotten what we needed out of it. Obviously, right? Our men's won gold at the Worlds, our women won silver. We're going to try to redeem ourselves here at the Continentals in a few months. But yeah, man.
So what are those dates for those tournaments? I know you said there's one in April 1st in Dallas.
Yep.
That's the April Fool's Bash.
There's one in one in Florida.
Yeah, June 3rd.
Yep, there's one in Florida. Yep, and then the last one is San Diego, June 17th. And then the one is in Charlotte. That's July 7th through the 9th.
Okay.
So to go back on the scout and recruiting, so on the outside looking in, so someone's like, why should I go play at one of these events if they've already picked a team? What would you tell someone that thinks that way?
Well, the biggest thing is going to be a lot of the notoriety, right? I mean, if y'all watched the Pro Bowl this past year, Vanita Crouch, our women's quarterback, was the offensive coordinator for the NFC, right? And the reason that she was in that position is because, one, obviously she's an incredible player, incredible athlete, but also she's been locked in with our national team program for a handful of years. So in order for you to take that next step, and especially with the Olympics coming in 2028, I don't think that there's any more of a motivator that you would need than to potentially be donning those rings, wearing red, white, and blue, and possibly being out in Los Angeles when opening ceremonies happen. So,
I think some of the confusion might happen is, we're in 2023 right now. You guys just selected the 18.
Yep.
And now we have those tournaments. But can you speak to it and let them know it's for the 2024 cycle?
Yep, that's exactly it. So, obviously we had trials at UNCC, University of North Carolina, Charlotte, these past couple weeks, earlier this past month. But all of our 4 adult tournaments that we have scheduled on the calendar for this year are going to be scouting events for 2024. Mm-hmm. So all the events, again, this coming weekend, tomorrow, we're going to be looking at athletes for 2024. And again, obviously, at IMG in California and at the one, all that stuff, that's all going to be stuff, opportunities for us to continue to scout, but for next year's team.
Okay.
So this year's team, again, initially, I would understand why people would assume that you're going to the events this year trying to get chosen, picked for this year's team, but that team's already been selected. That's what the trials were.
It's for the next year.
Correct.
Okay.
So, I guess my question would be, if I drew a brain fart. You got it. I drew a brain fart. I knew exactly what I wanted to say. It was in regards to. Go ahead.
Did it again.
Yeah.
So I think what was going around, we was hearing like, oh, this is just kind of like a money grab because they've already picked the team.
Go. That's what I was trying to get
why would
to.
I go put my team in and give them the money if I'm not going to get picked because they already have the team? Because I don't think they really got the full concept of, this is for 2024.
Because a lot of them,
they don't read.
Yeah, a lot of them don't read.
Well, yeah, I mean, it
could be spelled out a little bit better and say, hey, this is for 2024. Yeah.
Because I look at it like this standpoint, like y'all just had tryouts or whatever, and then the couple days later you came out. Well, maybe it was a week later. You came out with the roster, and then everybody's like, "Whoa, what's this next tournament for? It's supposed to be a tryout." And like, why would I try out if they've already made the team?
Can I answer that?
Go ahead.
Well, I feel like that people should try out just to have an opportunity, just like he said, notoriety to people to get noticed. Some people just be afraid to be great.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, if you want to be great, the only greatest opportunity that you can have is to be on the USA. Some people won local, some people won region, some people won worlds and championship, but the ultimate goal, just like he said, is just to win Olympics.
Right.
Gold medal. Not too many people have that at all on their resume. So who don't want to play for their own country? So just keep that in mind.
Right.
So, Frank, how different is that IFAF style so people can truly understand? Because you've played 4-man, 5-man, you've played co-ed, you've played 8-man, 9-man. So how different is it? Can you explain that to the people?
And the physicality, go into that.
Yeah, I argue about the biggest difference all the time. Some people are going to say the downs. Some people are going to say the physicality. To me, it's the downs, having that extra down. So you get 4 downs to the midline and then 4 downs to score, where normally in our flag football world championship rules, you get 3 downs.
Plus 10-yard end zone.
Oh, yeah, 10-yard end zone.
That's
So
huge.
as a defender, it's very tough for myself and other defenders, but if you can find out what the advantage is going to be, which I'm not going to disclose because then y'all will know my game, but y'all can come watch. But ultimately the 4 downs is the biggest difference for me, because when you're playing regular 5-man and you get that stop on first down and they don't get no yards, you're like super happy.
Yeah.
Everybody knows. Everybody here played. You're super happy. But you get that stop on first down and you look across there and the quarterback's like, oh, well, I still got 3 downs, because now they're playing normal 5-man.
Yeah.
A lot of people think that I, of all people, would have trouble with the physicality, but Chuck can attest that I have the least amount
There's
of penalties.
no problem with Frankie's physicality.
You're killing me with Chuck.
But yeah, so I think the physicality, I know that's a big thing, because especially when you get to IFAF, those actual tournaments, the different refs, they are very strict. I mean, the smallest thing, you could trip over somebody's shoelace, and they will call it on you. So I think that's another one. Like Corey said, them 10-yard end zones, that's very big, because we're used to playing 6-7 yards,
6-7 yards,
and to be able to run that back line, you got a 6 foot plus receiver. Right. Now his radius turns to 7 feet, along with 3 extra yards. So I think those are the biggest 3 things that come to mind for me, but with the biggest being that 4th extra down.
Gotcha. So we'll kind of go down the line here. Talk to me about your experience playing international. I know you've played in Israel. Did you play in Panama?
Yeah, Panama.
Mm-hmm. So talk to me about those experiences, unless I'm missing out another event as well.
No,
I know those are the 2.
They're pretty surreal, just because you get to meet all the other countries. You get to meet the locals. I think the locals are the best, because he can attest to it. In Panama City, he had his own little fan club. I had my own little fan club. I think Vanita had her own little fan club. Joe, fans migrate to, I guess you'll say, their favorite players, or in his case, a saying like, hey, barbecue chicken. Yeah, I want to be like barbecue chicken. So, and then, of course, people know me as Cap. I walk around with a Shield backpack so they can notice me. But I just think the fan base is one of the biggest things that you sit up there and embrace, because it's these kids that don't see it all the time. They don't see they only see it on TV, and to be able to see it live, to be in the stands, yelling your name, yelling your country, even there for their own favorite players, it's a surreal feeling, because at the end of the day, like he said, you do anything for the kids, and you just want to make sure the kids are having a good experience, and even the actual adults are having a great experience. Right. So I think the biggest thing is the fans being able to embrace you and have a good time and really come watch the game and just see you like, hey man, oh my God, can I have your gloves? Can I have your cleats? Can I have this? Can I have that?
Gotta be dope.
I think that man, it's a surreal feeling. Like, I mean, and Chuck can tell you, in arena they do that to you all the time. You go to these different cities and these kids just think you're Superman. Right. And so I think going to the other countries is even that much more, because they're not used to seeing it.
What would you say your best, like, the two countries you've been to? Which one you would think is probably the one you had the most fun, I guess?
Panama City.
Panama City. Wow.
Hold on, listen.
We got some stories.
I'm pass the mic to Corey on that.
We'll say that one. Corey, talk to me about your international experiences, man. I know you've been to, where did you go? You went to Panama, but I know you've played in Mexico as well.
I went to Panama, Mexico, Amsterdam.
Amsterdam. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know about Amsterdam.
Mexico City.
Arlington.
He said Arlington.
Hey, almost like 30. I went to like almost 30, 40 states playing, man.
Oh, yeah. You travel a lot.
Yeah.
I see it. I mean, when I first met you, I was like, man, this dude is flying every weekend. Like, how are you able to fly every weekend and play at all these different places? But anyways, that's
American
besides
Airlines
the point.
employee.
So it's all about who you know.
Right. Talk to me about those experiences, man.
For sure, Panama, that was like a whole different type of experience, man. I was starstruck just even being there, you know, especially being Frankie right there. So I felt very, very comfortable. You know, not too many people can be comfortable where they going. So just having, you know, my big brother right there, just, you know, kind of like coaching me and, you know, being right there by my side and kind of like guiding me in a whole different type of aspect. So helped me a whole lot. But being in Panama, just being around the fans and around the people, and obviously just doing what I do best, you know, helps me a lot to be even more the person that I am. You know, I always let my game do the talking. And, you know, I always like to have fun. So when I have fun, you know, I do my little dances and stuff like that. So if you see me doing that, then you know I'm having fun. But I don't know, man. Panama was just a whole different experience, man. Like, I just thank God for even being that opportunity to even represent USA and winning the gold medal for the team and for the people, obviously.
And I don't want to take nothing away from Israel. We just was on COVID protocol. We was on COVID protocol, so we did. I don't know how much fun we could have had. If that makes sense.
Now we hopping back into Israel. What did that look like? As far as you said, COVID protocol.
The first 12 hours maybe or 24 hours, we were secluded to our floor per country because they had to get the COVID test back. But once they got the COVID test back, it was I mean, everybody got to mix and mingle. We got to kick it. We always hitting the cab. Nah, I mean, you know, ain't no turn up.
I saw a lot of
it was all business. I don't know what you saw. You must have seen it, man. It was all business.
I saw a lot of just in the room stuff. I didn't see a lot of teams building and bonding and stuff like that.
You know, we just watching film and playing cards. You know, we were using cards as you know, certain countries, stuff like that. But now ultimately, I will say the fans in Israel were good too, because those kids were coming straight after school. They were finding their favorite guys doing this. I even was it Hamlet, right? Yeah. Yep. One of them gave me a Hamlet. I ended up playing like a half with it until they finally seen it.
Yarmulke. Yarmulke.
I know.
Oh my gosh. Y'all see who I be learning from? So when I be messing up, it be on cap. So y'all see that now?
But no, the kids in Israel were really dope, because a lot of them were going, I believe, into the military, so they were trying to play for their military tackle team. So they were just trying to learn regular football from us, and believe it or not, a couple of those guys were Boston Americans and stuff too. They were Israelites, but they lived in like Boston when they left. You know what I'm saying? Israel, and some of them were back for like, you know, joining the army or for their Christian base or their religion base. beliefs. So just talking to them, giving them pointers as far as football wise, and then I think I have a picture after the championship game of me and a group of those kids, and they were all like tackle football players, just trying to learn. Like, hey man, what about this? What about that? So I think I don't want to take anything away from Israel. It's just with us being in quarantine and having COVID protocol, it kind of limited our fun.
And back to that point too. So the facility that we were at and we were competing at, the entire time was the Robert Kraft facility.
Yeah, I was going to say.
You know what I mean? So there's a big football presence. Obviously, him being the owner of the New England Patriots and everything else. I mean, he was part of our opening ceremonies. He spoke to all the teams and stuff like that. So yeah, no, Israel was an incredible time. On top of that too, again during quarantine, during COVID, during this whole pandemic, we get to the hotel. Miss Universe is there. There's 80 different countries that are all in the same hotel as us during a global pandemic. So it was an interesting dynamic. I mean, a lot of talent in that place.
I know what Frankie was
Look at Frankie's face.
I didn't want to say
Miss Universe was there.
You didn't tell me that.
He was trying. I got pictures. You know, I met Miss Universe, Venezuela. I met about at least 25, 30 countries. But, you know, I ain't want to talk about that. I ain't want to brag or nothing, you know.
I'm glad you did.
I did have a question, CT. So there's a 18-player roster, right?
Yep.
And then you have to narrow it down to 12.
You betcha.
How hard is that going to be after seeing all of them just now try out? Now they have to go through the wave of all the tournaments to where you have to narrow it down.
Well, I tell you what, orientation on Thursday night when we all got to Charlotte was incredible. I'm looking around the room and I'm like, the amount of talent that was in that room, I just knew, okay, it's about to get real. These next 72 hours, these next 4 days, it's about to get real because you get to a point now where you're splitting hairs with these athletes because so many of them can do so many different things. So I mean, yeah, it's going to be tough. Our work is definitely cut out for us. That's what these next 2 training camps are going to really determine. You know, who's who. Allow athletes to establish themselves and really show what they can do. So we're just going to trust the film and watch it and let guys do what they do. Women as well, obviously, but yeah.
Now, question. I have a question here. So with this early, I guess you can say, roster right now, how do you think? I guess it's a question for all of you, whoever wants to answer first. How do you think this roster ranks against, like, I would say the what was the World Games roster? Because it's a little bit different. I mean, there's some players that are still there. Yeah.
In my honest opinion, it's gonna be more defense.
Okay,
way more defense. I feel like
is it
just outside me looking in because I wasn't obviously, but I'm not gonna be that. I'm not gonna be that guy. But outside looking in, not even being on the team, you know, in the previous years, I feel like we had more offensive players that trying to play defense but really couldn't.
It was not him on defense. It was not him on defense.
You can say that.
You him? Are you him? Let me know.
Not. You know, everybody couldn't adjust with different people. You know, on defense. You know what I mean? Like I just said, like some of the offensive guys that was on the team last year, and then the roster that we have this year. I feel like we're more focusing on defense to get more stops than anything.
Gotcha. Do you feel that this roster this year, well, the preliminary roster, do you feel that this preliminary roster is more balanced, I guess you could say, or is it more offensive or more defensive, like, I guess you could say, driven? And anybody can answer that question.
Well, I'd say it's more defensive driven because we have, like, people that can actually score anytime, any type of play, any given moment. But defense, I feel like I'm a defensive guy. Well, I can play any position, don't get me wrong, but defense, I feel like we can get any stops, any given moments, making a pick, pulling flags, and just doing what we need to do to make every team not score, really.
Yeah. What about you, Cap? What do you think? Don't say defense. I know you're a defensive guy.
I'm about to say we got 2 defensive dudes in here.
Right.
So.
He don't want to say me, but I ain't gonna say nothing.
What was the question again?
So where do you feel this roster ranks, I guess you can say, against previous rosters?
We're a lot shorter.
How well rounded is it?
Yeah, we're a lot shorter, but I think we're faster.
Faster.
Definitely faster. Probably definitely younger. Minus myself, of course. But I think overall, like trying to rank a roster from year to year, my CTE kicks in, so I don't try to remember the rosters. But what I will say about this roster, I think it'll be very competitive. You know, the 18 is going to be hard to decipher through because you do have a guy like Corey Webb that can come over here and play just as well on defense as me, and then go on offense and play just as well as a guy like Velton or somebody. And so that well-rounded wise, we have a lot more of those versatile players that are dual threat players. Corey, Vel, Pablo, Hoosh, you know, all those two-way players, true two-way players. In my opinion, I think that helps heighten our game because you could go small ball and go Corey, Vel, Hoosh, Pablo, and Devin on defense, and it ain't a person over 5'6". So you know, and they can defend with the best of them, but then you can also take them same 5 and put them on offense, and they will score in a jiffy, like anybody who touches the ball. So I think versatility wise, we have a lot of dual threat players, but ultimately. The roster this year, I mean, it's stacked. It's about what position you going out for and how well you play if you're going to get it.
Now, I got a question. This one might be a little bit of controversy here, but is there anyone that did make the team that you were surprised that didn't make the team?
No comment.
No, we got comments.
It's
a question. We got to answer this question.
Nah, what's the question again?
Is there
a player that was at the tryout that you think should have made the team that did not?
It could have been, 50-50 toss-up type.
Man, the crazy part is, bro, I know all the players by a picture, and we don't have a picture up of them, so I can't even give you no names. So I'm going to pass the question to my boy Corey.
I figured he was going to do that.
We're going to let CT get a little bit of this, too.
Here we go.
I ain't got no picture from it, so I don't know.
Okay, don't worry.
Who should have made? You said who should have made the team that didn't?
I mean, I got for sure 2 people.
I'm about to say, y'all trying to get messy out here today.
Who should have made the team?
I got 2 people in mind for sure.
Go ahead. What's those?
I know for sure one person definitely should have made it.
They should have made it.
Well, I ain't gonna say. Let me not say should have made it. Let me not say that.
But you can also say
didn't play well enough in tryouts.
I'm gonna say he played well enough to at least be probably an 18. But everybody got a different opinion, so I'm not on board. So I can't tell you who should or should not make. I can. So I hate to say that.
We'll get to that next about the board.
Just drop the name.
How that
Just drop the name. They want to know who.
Your boy.
My boy.
Your boy.
So I could probably say with
start with an E.
1 second, guys.
So do you think with 45 men, all 45 could make the 18? Obviously.
Correct.
So that's where it does make it hard because once you get to that 18 and then you get to the 20 and then that 25, those.
Is that what we start at 45?
Well, 48.
48.
So there's 40, so there's in essence like 30 people you gotta reduce down. So that's where I think it makes it hard.
Speaking on that, CT, talk to me a little bit about that. Like, how does that? What does that process look like? You said 48
absolutely.
Down to 12. Really, that's a huge cut.
That's a tough job, bro.
It is. It's the toughest part of the job for sure.
25%.
I mean,
20. That's more than that. But anyways, that boy's mouth's off. What you guys, CT?
Well, listen, you want to be able to put yourself in a position. Right. Listen, you want to be able to put yourself in a position where you can't even make a wrong decision ultimately, right?
Yeah.
Like all 48 of the athletes have to be as good as one another in order for you to, you know what I mean, to select whoever you select. So yeah, man, no, it's extremely tough. It's extremely tough, and obviously we rely a lot on our head coaches, the type of personnel that they want. That's the biggest thing is understanding your personnel. And after the World Games and how we were able to, really dominate on the men's side, we wanted to make sure that we had a specific type of personnel and we were able to do certain things on offense and on defense. So ultimately that's what it boiled down to. Like I said, I don't think that there was really a wrong answer with the way that we sliced it and cut up the team because, frankly, everybody could contribute to the team in some way, shape, or form. It's just a matter of getting the right pieces to fit.
Now, question in regards to the coaching, like how much – say-so does the coach have when it comes to picking those players, or is it truly up to them, or is it more of a collective, I guess you can say, decision between maybe you and is there a board? What does that board look like?
That's a great question, and for full transparency, it's 5 of us in a room.
Okay.
it's our 2 coaches. It's Pat and George, and then it's myself, Ian, and Eric. And then, I mean, full disclosure, the coaches get a very, very big piece of that pie, obviously, right? Because they have specific things they want to be able to do. But then obviously myself, Ian, and Eric always weigh in as well. So it's a little bit of both, kind of a cop-out answer, but everybody has a little bit of input, obviously, when it comes to selecting the guys.
Who was the unanimous pick? I know it wasn't me, but
the first overall.
Who was it?
The first
was
overall.
Was it Husha Corey? Was it Husha Corey?
I mean, there's a I can't disclose too much. I can't put my man. Y'all can't have me on here talking.
Husha Corey.
Don't put my man on the spot.
Right.
I'm gonna have to go with Husha.
So this is for you. This is for you, CT and Frank. Obviously with the IFAF World Championships, y'all have won, I think, 5 out of the last 6. You've won 4 in a row. The World Games, you guys won that as well. How much pressure is on the men's program just for July, for the Continentals, and even like for Finland? Because obviously everyone's seen that you guys have been dominating for the last several years. So who are you concerned about? Or are you concerned about anybody on the men's side?
Is there a team out there or a country out there that like they're coming?
All of them are really. I mean, once we step on the field, everybody gets an attitude with us. I mean, we be laughing and joking before the games, at the ceremonies, but we get on the field. One of my favorite players from Mexico, Lobos, number 19, probably one of the best receivers in the world. He is one of my best friends when we are not playing the game, but when we get on the field, he talks to me like he don't even know me, and it's crazy. I'm like, dang, I thought we was friends, and he no. I'm like, all right, man. See you after the game. So I think that everybody really guns for us because we have the top spotters. I mean, it's just like any sport. When you're at the top spot, everybody want to knock you off. So I don't think it's one team we should be worried about in particular. We should be worried about all the teams, because if you don't think they're over there trying to get better, some of them are starting doing dual citizens. Some of them are starting to practice last year. So you just gotta come and bring your A game every time. As far as the pressure aspect, I don't really think that nobody, men and women, really catch pressure. I think it's more so, hey, how fast are we going to have the camaraderie with not playing with our usual teammates? And, once you get those practices under your belt and once you get that camaraderie going into those games, I think pressure, that's the least of your worries. It's okay, how much are we gonna score and how many times we gonna stop somebody? That's what we start thinking like. So it's not more so a cocky thing, it's a confidence thing. Like, hey, who's go get a stop? Hey, who's go score the ball? Hey, Frankie, get a stop. So pressure, I think, is more just, hey, some people probably get jitters, like pregame jitters, but to me, pressure is what you allow it to be. For a fact you the top dog, so everybody's coming for the top spot. So bring your A game.
And what do you say? Said. What do you say to the next generation of flag players that want to be the next Frankie, that want to be the next Corey, that want to be the next CT? What do y'all say to those people?
Come talk to us. Come learn. Without the actual play, because a lot of people think that, hey, you got this skill set. I feel like the best part of my game is my awareness and football IQ. And if you don't talk to me, you don't know that, because I'm a very goofy person. Like you wouldn't think I could have an intelligent conversation to save my life. But when you come and talk football to me, you're like, man, that dude really knows his stuff. So I always tell these younger guys, you see something, come ask me. These quarterbacks, I mean, I've had plenty of opposing quarterbacks. Hey, how did you do this, this, and that? And I'd be like, all right, it's like this. Because ultimately, the only way you're going to help grow the next man or be a bridge builder to the next generation is being able to share your knowledge. We always say, if I knew what I knew now back then, I would have been that much more better. Well, if they're going to be the back then for us, we still got to teach them and uplift them in every way possible.
Okay. Corey? You got
go ahead and forgot to quit.
He's gonna say,
I got one brain fart.
Nah, ain't no brain fart. I'm probably like the younger generation of my people. Mm-hmm. So people that watch me obviously think I'm the GOAT and stuff like that. I don't think so. I'm still learning to this day. how to adjust my game, how to improve my game on everything that I do. So, like what Cap just said, man, if you come talk to us, man, it's always easier to us to explain and do everything quite well so you can understand what's going on, because you watching and you actually asking is totally different.
Yeah.
Real quick, too, I want to say my message would definitely be come prove it, right? Because being all over the country, being able to see all these different athletes everywhere, different tournament styles, you always hear about folks who are up next or who are the best at that position, et cetera. Okay, that's all well and good, but until you come and prove it, it doesn't mean anything. I can sit here and tell you I'm the best three-point shooter, but until I get on the court and start putting up shots and show you,
we find out
it means nothing. You get what I'm saying? So if the next generation, if you want to be part of the national team, that's all well and good. Obviously, you know, we welcome everybody with open arms, but you got to come prove it. Like, I'm tired of coming to the tournaments and hearing people say, man, I could play for the national, I could do this, I could do that. Okay, I hear you. It sounds good. Come prove it.
But just like what he just said, and like you said earlier in the show, for you to actually prove everything what you can do, why not come to the USA series in Texas, Florida, San Diego? You got 3 options. So it's up to you to choose which option that you want to go to showcase.
4. You got 4.
I mean,
yeah.
Here, I guess he's trying to say
Florida,
he has options.
San Diego. I'm just saying options in general, but
And
sure, no
Carolina.
problem. I didn't know that one with Carolina.
So how can one get? I guess you can say how do we find these tournaments and things of that nature? How can someone get involved?
It's so low hanging fruit. I think our marketing team right now, USA Football for the national team, is trying to do a really good job of telling the story, right? Because to your point, we talked about it a little bit earlier, is a lot of folks don't realize that these 3-4 tournaments that we have going on, the sanctioned events that we have going on, are actually for 2024. So to all those players that are watching who want to become a part of this, it's simple. Follow our U.S. national team on Instagram. Follow USA Football on Instagram. Go to usafootball.com. Go underneath the U.S. national team tab. It's all right there for your consumption, and we're trying to continually make it as easy, as user-friendly as possible because, again, it's ultimately about the athletes.
Right.
What final thoughts do you have, Frank, before we wrap this up?
Man, I'm glad my boy back on the team, man. I miss you, my boy.
I get emotional. Oh, no, hold up. I had a question I want to ask you. Let's go back to that. Corey, you made a post on Facebook, Corey. Corey said, oh, man, I'm about to cry. I made the team. But you've made the team before.
Right.
For me, why does this moment this year mean so much to you as opposed to the prior year?
Sacrifice.
Yeah. That's really no more. I had to sacrifice a lot of things. And also, too, my son helped me with a whole lot, man, just seeing, grow up a whole lot, doing different things to improve my life and his life also. And me just joining the team just hit way different than it was last year, man. Like, I have no idea how much I had to go through just to even push myself and work hard just to be on the team, man. And you can kind of hear it in my voice, too, a little bit, just kind of got, like, emotional about it. But, like, y'all understand, like, I'm so excited and passionate about this, man. Like, y'all don't know how many tournaments, traveling all the world just so the USA people can actually notice what I'm doing and working hard for them to see what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's up to you to put the work out there. It's just like he said, man. If I can be on the court and shoot threes, if you don't make it, man, you talking about you the best 3, you got to make your shot. So I'm trying to make my shots, man. It's going through, as you can see. So, I just appreciate them to give me another opportunity because they didn't have to do it. Seriously, they did not have to give me another opportunity. So I appreciate them so much. So.
Hats off to you for putting yourself in a position. For real, because you can say hats off to us as much as you want, but ultimately you were the one that put in the work and did what you needed to do.
Showed up. Showed out.
You came and
I'm
proved
about to start now. But this guy.
That's my team.
Cool. Well, we're running a little out of time here. So now, any final things y'all want to say? Any shout outs y'all want to?
Everybody look straight at me.
This is great. This is a great opportunity in front of hundreds of thousands of people.
Man, shout out to my kids, man. Shout out to my kids.
Okay.
I like that.
Okay. BarbecueChicken.com. Barbecue Chicken. Get your barbecue chicken attire and drip online. Where can they get it at?
I had a
Just
website,
DM him.
but the website not going so well. So you can always hit me up
scratch
at
that.
barbecue chicken 00 at my IG, man. Anything y'all want, I can definitely ship it to you, or you can talk to me, man. I'm easy to find, man.
Yeah.
And
Or you can
biggest
just DM
thing,
him.
try out. If you really want to be a part of Team USA, just try out. Ultimately, I mean, the worst answer you can get is no.
Right.
The best answer you can get is yes. So,
I'll
and it's
second
only
that.
2 answers.
Yeah.
I'll second what Frank says. Like we talked about earlier, come and prove it,
Yeah,
right?
just try out.
You know, you got nothing to lose, right? If you are who you think you are, if you are who you say you are, if you are someone who wants to be part of the national team, don't be shy, right?
That's
Come out there, get out to one of the 4 locations, and come prove it.
The new USA football tagline: "Prove it, prove
like
it.
that.
You
I
gotta
like that.
prove it.
You know,
you
we
gotta
can
prove
be,
it.
we can be USA
Show up and prove it.
football coaches. We certified.
Hashtag.
We are certified USA.
We
Y'all
are
certified
football
over
coaches.
here?
Yes, sir.
Certified
Yes,
USA
sir.
football coaches.
Tackle and flag.
I gotta
by the way.
clap that up. That's
We are
big.
both
Yeah.
tackle and flag certified.
Okay.
So, hey,
Cool,
we
cool,
might have to
cool.
put a resume.
Right. Cool. Well, hey man, I appreciate each and every last one of you guys for being on the show today. It means a lot for us to have you guys in our presence, and you know, it's always a pleasure, you know, watching you guys, you know, do y'all's thing in the flag football world. Not as in touch with it as I used to be when it comes to the adult game, but you know, I know you guys are still doing y'all's thing, rocking out. You know, Frankie, you've been doing it for a very long time. Corey, you've been doing it for a very long time as well. We're not going.
I'm not old. Don't do that. Everybody calling me
I
old.
see that
I'm
little
not
bit
Frankie
of gray
old.
on your beard right there.
That's from
But
having
anyway,
kids.
we gonna start that? No, we're not gonna start that.
start that?
Anyway,
How old are you, Corey?
Anyway,
How old are you?
25.
anyway. Well, happy belated birthday, by the way.
Yeah, happy
too.
belated. Happy
Yeah.
belated.
Appreciate
Cool.
that.
Cool.
Appreciate that.
What year
man.
were you born in?
1997.
Yeah, once again, like I said, thank you guys. I wish you guys the best this weekend. I don't know if you guys are playing or not, but I wish you guys the best. CT, I hope you guys have a great tournament, a great
Appreciate
event, man. I hope you guys continue to flourish and just, you know, keep getting better. Yeah, cool.
That's the sit
Thanks for
down.
coming, guys.
Thank y'all for
Appreciate
coming
you
by.
having
Sit
us.
Thanks
down.
for having me.
I appreciate that, man.